Alright, what's up? It's Garson. This is just a dry write-up for the build from last video, so thank you guys for the request. We'll dive right into it, try and make some timestamps here, and this is just going to be lickety-split. So basically, if I started this character, or when I started the character, I did 10 strength because we're going to cheese the strength with elixirs all game. So more about that in a second. But we actually do need some decent dexterity if you're planning to play this way from level 1 onward, no respecs. This is going to help in the first, like, 3 levels. 17 Constitution, eventually I'll fill out with a feat in Resilient Constitution, so more about that later. Intelligence and Charisma, we don't care about that, we don't use that, but be careful with the lower intelligence, because in the late game, the squids can get you stunned. And then the 14 Wisdom is actually just in the early game. It's a problem, you only have a few limited spell slots. As you get more Cleric levels, you'll get plenty of prepared slots, but yeah, it helps early on. And it's saving throw bonus. So Dex is really just for initiative, but in the early game, the saves and the AC is pretty useful, and you're going to use Dex weapons until you get those giant elixirs, and then you should really just go out of your way to stockpile these for the rest of the game so you don't run out. There's Constitution for Bless and HP. So Concentration and HP in equal measure. Constitution is pretty big. So as you can see, I kind of prioritized it. So this will keep me alive in the front line, and this will keep me blessed, or concentration on the Bless spell, since I'm not making this all about Spirit Guardians, right? And then Wisdom, like I said, for the prepared spells. But what we really want to do is replace our 10 Strength outright with the elixirs all game. Cheese or whatever you call it, but you know, this is how I built and played the character. And strength is great for our accuracy, our damage, our shoving potential, our jumping potential. So, and we have huge carry capacity, so you can just carry a bunch of loot for the party. So it's easiest just to get this set up with using your elixir slot, and this is probably the most consistent elixir to find. Later on, you get the 27 strengths in Act 3, but through most of the game, you can go to Ethel, or in the Myconid colony, there's Dareth, and you can easily get the Hill Giant strengths. Just buy them up so you don't run out of them. You can get like 3 per day. All right. So as for leveling, this is sort of just more of like a spell guide. Blade Ward, I did use Blade Ward in the early game for a decent amount, so you can pick this as your cantrip. Definitely pick Guidance, and then from there, just pick your favorite. If you really think you're going to concentrate on resistance, go for that. So Guidance obviously is very good outside of combat for your allies' dialogue checks. You're probably not the dialogue guy or the sleight of hand guy stealing things, so you can just help them out, concentrate on that for them. And Blade Ward can save you in the early game, giving you the resistance, and then you can just, you know, use your bonus action to heal up or just do something else. But Bless is really the name of the game. If you saw my quick guide on Paladin, I built a Devotion Paladin the same way. We're going to use a low-level spell all game to give ourselves value. For 1 spell slot, 10 turns, as long as you can concentrate, you and 2 others get accuracy and some better saving throws, which is funny because it helps you concentrate with that bonus saving throw, right? And your team loves you. Sanctuary and Healing Word are your other usage, and for the record, level 1, level 2, even level 3 spell slots. Use Bless, use Healing Word, and use Sanctuary. All of these are great spells. Sanctuary, for the record, is going to save somebody if you know they're about to get blasted, or you can't pick them up right away. You can make it so they can't directly be targeted, but they'll still die to like explosions or fireballs or something like that. Indirect damage. Healing Word is not, you're not a healer so much as you're a protector or an enhancer. So what I would use this for is just bonus action, throw it out. I can still attack with my main action, but I can heal and pick up an ally from 0 HP, so they're back on the field. Then they can go heal themselves and get themselves to safety. And Protect Evil and Good is really good in certain fights, especially in Act 2 where you're fighting a bunch of undead. It gives them disadvantage against whoever the target is for this. This is a concentration spell that lasts all day, so certain fights, you don't have to worry about the turn limit. You can set it up before the fight begins and you don't feel all that cheesy, right? So you can protect yourself with disadvantage. And for Merkel specifically, you can't be frightened against his his scary beam, right? Level 2, from here on out, I think you know about spell slots. So every 2 levels as a caster, we get better spell slots. And we also get more spells we can prepare the more Cleric levels we get, okay? So Channel Divinity, if you're not familiar with this, you get a short-term resource. Once per short rest, you'll have Channel Divinity. So once per short rest, you can give yourself only plus 10 to an attack roll. And since we're a weapon fighter, martial, you know, running into the front line, we can get, even with Great Weapon Master, a really solid hit in when we need it. Later on with Great Weapon Master and Divine Strike, very important there to get like that big hit in when you need it. So War Cleric at 3, like I said, we're not going to multi-class, so here on out we're War Cleric. Level 2 spell slots are available. Spirit Weapon is always available up here. It's just part of the class kit. It's always prepared. Debatable, we'll talk about it later, but this could be an extra little ally on the field. You can also cast Bless on it if you started the fight with it already out, but it only lasts for 10 turns. Thankfully, you don't have to concentrate on that. And it does upcast, so that's kind of cool, but debatable usability. Enhance ability is great, again, outside of combat. If somebody is already concentrating on guidance, you can give them advantage on that ability check. And then there's aid. Aid is excellent. You can upcast this thing. So probably levels 3, 4, 5 as you're getting them. You can cast this at the beginning of the day and give yourself and everybody on the team more HP, max HP. And then there's less restoration. Lesser restoration is good for, like, I know the poison, if you run out of antidotes, you can cure yourself or your allies of poison, but you got to go up to them in melee range to cure them. But in the Queen Spider fight, that could be important. Paralysis is a nasty effect, so if you don't have anything to get rid of that, you're going to love having this guy in your team. And blindness. And since we're a full caster, it's okay to throw out spell slots for this and still be throwing them out for Bless and whatnot. So you have great usage for your level 2 slots there as well. So War, once we go up to 4, we're going to get a cantrip, pick your favorite. We already have what we need. We now get Polearm Master. So ever since level 1 till now, I should have mentioned this, we do have an ability to get 2 attacks ever since level 1. But the problem is it's costly because we only have like 3 charges. So to conserve on these bonus attack charges, we can still get bonus attacks if we take Polearm Master. There's some other benefits there, but to keep it simple, with a certain 2-hand weapons, which we want for Great Weapon Master damage at level 8. So with certain weapons, we'll be able to get a mini bonus attack, bludgeoning attack. It's still going to get more damage later on with Great Weapon Master. We'll get more damage with Divine Strike as well, but for now, what it's really doing is giving us extra attack, because our class doesn't have that technically, and we can conserve on these charges that give us a normal attack, whereas this gives us a little bit weaker, but still another attack we can make stronger. So action will attack normally, and then bonus action, you have to use the polearm attack, or a regular attack, to activate the bonus action, and then it pops off on the side here. So we now have an extra attack just before level 5. So level 5 is level 3 spell slots. Like I said, I would be using Bless, Healing Word, and Sanctuary, even up to the 3rd level. But of course, you can now upgrade Aid, and then there is Mass Healing Word in case there were multiple allies downed. You could pick them all up at the same time, giving them a little HP. And then Revivify, if you play like me, no revive scrolls, this is really useful. Otherwise, this is not that good. It's not that good. You can just use Revivify scrolls and get 100 of them. So Remove Curse is excellent later on in the game, but I believe in Act 2, you can use this against the shadows. Some shadows cause a stupid annoying strength curse. If it's permanent, now you can get rid of it. I know Gortash will nuke you with the big hand move in Act 3 in Honor Mode, so this could get rid of that, so keep that in mind for Act 3. War at 6 now has 2 Channel Divinity. Clerics get 2 Channel Divinity short rest charges, which means we can now use Guided Strike, get plus 10 on 2 attacks per short rest, or we can now, using our reaction and the Channel Divinity, give that same bonus to others on our team for a plus 10. So now everybody's really loving you with the Bless, and when they want their big hit to go off, you can give it to them because they get plus 10. That's like almost a guarantee to hit. So now we got 2 total per short rest, and then that's 6 throughout a long rest. And now we can give that bonus to other characters. So now we get level 4 spell slots at level 7. This is good again because Aid, so I'll stop saying that. We can keep upgrading Aid. We now get Freedom of Movement. Freedom of Movement is excellent to just throw on you at the very least. Use your new level 4 spell slot, so you cannot be paralyzed, restrained, and you just outright ignore difficult terrain. So as a melee character that we're building, you do definitely want this. Otherwise, you could give it to other players or characters, because as you get more level 4 spell slots after you cast Aid, you could probably just waste these on giving out. Like I said, we're an enhancer caster. We don't really care so much. And Death Ward is, I guess it's worth mentioning, but Death Ward isn't that big of a deal. Because again, at least for me, I barely used it because I would just call out, I know somebody's about to die, I'll throw Sanctuary on them. Or I would use Healing Word. It's cheaper spell slot to pick them back up or whatnot. But if you knew something really dangerous was coming up, like Onser's big nuke, that could actually, you all get killed, but you had Death Ward and you finish them off. So there's a usage for it. Warcaster, or War, at level 8. Now we can get, I picked up Great Weapon Master. So like I said, with the polearm attack, we use a regular attack. Our bonus action, little mini damage, with the butt of our weapon, but now we can add 10 more damage to it thanks to Great Weapon Master. We also get Divine Strike at this level, so I will talk about this, but essentially you can get 2 Divine Strikes. So using that Polearm Master, we will use action with Divine Strike, the manual option. That's 1 Divine Strike, and that will get Great Weapon Master 10 plus damage as well. So we just went up a lot in damage at level 8. And then our bonus attack, a little 1d4 bludgeoning, now gets plus 10 damage, and it'll also get the reaction Divine Strikes. You get 2 Divine Strikes per turn and 2 Great Weapon Master hits per turn. So you're a really solid attacker on the front line with this combo. Now we have level 5 slots at level 9. So again, this is probably how far you want to go with aid every day. Now you get 20 max HP for you and your allies. So prep that. Otherwise, again, you can maybe throw out freedom of movement on somebody else, or you can maybe upcast your spirit weapon, stuff like that. Again, pick your favorite cantrip, and then Divine Intervention. There's 4 uses of this. You can only use it once per playthrough. I don't really talk about this. Just use whatever option you think you need at the time. It's not really build relevant. Level 6, spell slot. So now we have our ultimate spell slot. Instead of casting aid to the max level, just bring this up to level 5, because you can actually use Hero's Feast at this level, which is another, like, this stacks with aid. So level 5 aid plus this is a lot of bonus max HP for you and your allies. Otherwise, you can use your level 6 spell slot for a powerful ally. I would use the Deva. And then you can also use Blade Barrier. A lot of people don't know about this. They don't seem to use this. This is a slashing firewall. It's stronger than Firewall, I think. It's also difficult terrain. It lasts forever compared to Firewall. It's just a really cool metal spell, and it fits the theme. But yeah, you have some great uses for your level 6 spell slots. And then finally, as I said, my last feat personally, I evened out my Constitution score because it gives me proficiency. Since I didn't start as fighter or whatever, I have proficiency on maintaining concentration, and then also I have, you know, more HP. So Act 1 equipment, let's get a little complicated here. I'll be very specific with this. When I played this, this is why we want some dexterity, especially in the beginning game. So in the beginning game, you're probably going to look a little bit like this. I'll try and make this easy. Do this. You're going to have all this cool stuff, and you won't have giant elixirs. You'll have 10 strength. So you're going to be terrible at accuracy. So use that 16 dexterity in the beginning game, and now pick up a finesse weapon like a scimitar and a shield so you have decent armor class. You'll look something like this, and then that way you can use your finesse sword like a scimitar, use your dexterity and get shield, so better armor class. You'll survive those first 2 or 3 levels a lot easier, and then once you get to the Grove battle, find Ethel and stock up on those Hill Giant elixirs. So now you can have the 21 strength and eventually 27 strength using your elixir slot. After we get these elixirs, you should still use a hand weapon, because until we're level 4, you don't have a reason to go two-handed, right? So just keep the high AC with your medium armor, level 4 spell slot. I know that Lae'zel, you could just take her medium armor, so you'll have 15 armor class right there. And then the shield, so we're at 19 armor class in the early game. We're very easy to survive in the front line, okay? So you can definitely find a 15 armor class medium armor, and the dex is going to carry it further, and then even further with the shield. Now at level 4, that's when I take a polearm, right? So you can use quarterstaffs for bludgeoning. You can use glaives or halberds for slashing, or you use a pike for piercing. I went with halberds. So now I'm going to drop my AC, but I'll have an extra attack thanks to Polearm Master, and it's for free, right? So as long as I get attacking, I get 2 attacks. And vendors will now sell you a heavy armor, so you can keep this medium armor, or you can start looking for heavy armor if somebody wants to use that medium armor. Now we get to keep our pretty decent baseline armor class. From here on out, we want heavy armor since we're not using... yeah, I mean, you have the options between medium and heavy, but I used heavy armor just to give the rest of my team some more options. So generic armor helmets actually give you a Constitution saving throw bonus. So you'll find something like this super early on, and this is really nice for maintaining the concentration saving throw bonus. Adamantium splint is going to be pretty ideal because you go from 17 to 18 base armor class. The growling underdog from the Goblin Camp. When we're in the thick of it, if we're surrounded by 2 or more enemies, we'll have advantage, making us very accurate on our attacks. So that's pretty cool. We have the Boots of Striding from Minthara. So where's the boots here? It doesn't disappear. The heck? All right, I'll go find them here. So Boots of Striding right here. Boots of Striding is great for concentration. So if you're concentrating on Bless, can't be pushed around, can't slip and fall prone and lose concentrate. So it's a really good complement for builds like this. Protection Ring you can get from the Grove. That's more armor class and saving throw for concentrate. And then the Crusher Ring, as a melee character, I love putting 10 feet of extra movement on. And if my team has Long Strider, I'm up to 50 feet of movement. I also look like a tank by this point. Look at this guy. The Skin Burster is an excellent halberd for Polearm Master usage because you'll actually get defensive value from the Force Conduit ability. And then Awareness Bow. So I don't really use a ranged weapon on this guy, but I guess you could with your base dex. It's okay. But the bottom line is it's higher initiative. And we're already up to 4 initiative thanks to the base dexterity. So in Act 2, we would upgrade our heavy armor, the Adamantian. I upgraded to the Dwarven Splint in the Moonrise Towers because I actually get more HP Constitution from this, and I get 1 more armor class, so that's an upgrade in my book. The Flawed Helldusk Helmet you can get from Damon still has that Constitution +1. It's medium armor, so we can wear it. And then we have a +2 bonus from spells, so we can dodge those fireballs and whatnot. Cloak of Protection, if nobody's using it, more armor class, more saving throw. Then there's the Halberd of Vigilance. I think this was my endgame weapon. It's a +2 weapon, so other than a legendary, it's as good as it's going to get. Pretty accurate, pretty good extra damage. +1 initiative, so now I'm up to +5 in Act 2. I have additional 1d4 force damage on that, and then I have advantage on opportunity attacks. Now, I'll talk about Polearm Master gets an opportunity attack if they run towards you, and since you have extra reach, that can happen a lot, especially if you place yourself to protect your allies when you're giving them, bless and trying to cast things on them, keeping them alive, right? So this is great. So when they run away from us or approach us, we can get opportunity attacks and we get advantage, so we're more than likely going to hit that. So that's really good. It's like a whole nother extra attack off of our turn. Then we have Act 3 equipment. We're going to get, if you kept Damon alive, Legacy of the Masters is awesome. It's basically, we're going to bump our weapon up from a +2 weapon to a +4 weapon. Pretty cool. Pretty basic, but it's very useful. I mean, as boring as it is. And the Hellrider Bow is a literal upgrade to the Awareness Bow because now this gives us 3 initiative rather than 1. 7 initiative in Act 3 is totally great. So the Sharon Mirror, I didn't use it, but you can definitely use even more Constitution if you want to, or get any stat you want. So if you know the tricks, Melth just put out a good video, so you can check that out. But yeah, the Sharon Mirror can get you even more stats. And the elixirs, by the way, since we've been in Act 3 for a while now, we're going to have 27 strength elixirs from the Cloud Giant strength elixir. All right, so notes, just try and breeze through these. Freedom of movement at the start of the day. Cast this on yourself once you have level 4 spell slots, and maybe upcast Aid to a similar level like 3 or 4 or eventually 5. And now you got everybody. Hero Feast could also be used on top of Aid, so you can stack these two for a lot of bonus HP. And remember, it's you and your allies. Everybody loves you on the team because you're always giving them more HP, picking them up when they're down, and you're also giving them more accuracy and saving throws. So out of combat, guidance, and enhanceability. Now everybody loves you even more because your dialogue or sleight of hand is even easier thanks to this guy being on your team. And then combat should just be enhancing allies with Bless. That way you have a ton of spell slots to just toss out Bless. Even if you lose it on a critical miss, whatever, just toss it out again. Toss out Protection or pick up heals. Again, I don't use this to heal people. I pick them up from a 60-foot range of safety, or if I can't reach them. So this is a great tool for that, or I can just protect them with Sanctuary so they can't get hit directly. And then just fight, just beat the crap out of them. We have effectively extra attack every turn. We just choose if we want to pick somebody up with the bonus action, or we choose if we want a second attack. And we should be pretty accurate considering our bonuses, our guided strikes, even an Oil of Accuracy. We'll bring that over. So look for these guys as well if you still need a little bit more accuracy from the loss of Great Weapon Master. So just bless yourself. It boosts accuracy and saving throws, which means it's easier to concentrate on this spell. Funny enough, the spell you're concentrating on helps you concentrate on it, and it helps your other allies concentrate on their spells or dodge fireballs. So Sanctuary and Healing Word for picking up allies. I've said this too many times, sorry. Guided Strike to ensure an important strike. So again, every short rest by level 6, you'll have 2 charges of this. So eventually 2 times per short rest, maybe essentially 3 battles a day, 6 times a day, you can give allies and yourself a really big boost to accuracy and slam them pretty hard with that Great Weapon Master Divine Strike. And Spirit Weapon is okay, not great. I said we talk about this, but basically you can upcast this at the 4th and 6th level. I don't really see that happening too much. In the early game, I used it to put another body on the field and maybe get a couple extra attacks in. It's no concentration, that's cool, and maybe it'll do a little bit more damage or take damage. It's upcastable, but after a while, I just forgot to use it. It wasn't all that useful. It wasn't essential. Extra attack, remember, there's different ways to do this. Ever since level 1, you can spend your very limited resource, but you can get a whole nother extra attack before anybody else effectively, right? But then the reason we're going to get Polearm Master primarily is to get a cheaper, but a little bit weaker bonus attack that we can boost later on, so we can feel like a fighter or a paladin with extra attack by level 5. And then Great Weapon Master is just going to be a huge boost to our damage. Since we are already using a 2-hand weapon from this, we can add the damage on to both the main attack and the bonus attack, and it can even grant a normal bonus attack if you crit or hit. So we have ways of getting 2 attacks per turn, and we want that because of Divine Strike can be used as a manual attack. So you use your action here, and your bonus offhand attack can actually get another Divine Strike as a reaction. So be sure to set that up as a reaction on the page. And funny enough, as weird as it is, if you crit this Divine Strike, this reaction critical Divine Strike will also go off on the same hit. So that's big, big damage on a single hit, but it's not like, you're not really crit fishing. It's just a cool thing. So this was requested by you, the viewers. So I'm going to keep this brief, but thank you guys for requesting this video. It is dry. It has no content. It has no clips and all that stuff. That's what you guys asked, or I asked you guys. You said, do it anyway, bro. So thank you guys. I have other more flashy videos with clips and stuff. I do have full on a run playlists with other clerics, running them as battle clerics and stuff. And I'd love to see you guys in the stream. So just ask questions in chat or here in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Check out some other stuff, but I got to get going. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time.